Hello and welcome, beloveds, to another episode of Ask Dr. Mumbi. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray that you are well in all your ways and that you're moving into living life truly on your own terms. We want to thank the Great Spirit, nature, the birds that are just with us. You can hear them in the background. Absolutely beautiful that we're in a new location. But seriously, beloveds, it's like I'm seeing some birds that I saw where I was living before. Stories of other days. I really can't wait to get into those stories for other days. We are actually going to be relaunching our main channel, Dr. Mumbi Show, where we will be including much more stories for other days, and we will be going live. So make sure that you also subscribe to that channel. But I've been getting a lot of questions about relationships. What should we look for in relationships in 2022? Why are so many people celebrating? There's so many questions. So I thought I'd do like a short series on relationships. Now, the big question I've been getting is someone actually emailed me and asked if I could talk about like relationships in 2022, what's happening, what kind of romantic partners should people be looking for, etc., etc. And, the whole playing field of relationships has changed, especially intimate relationships, beloved, sexual relationships, because now, you see, before you weren't online. So a lot of your gifts were dormant. And you see, people, especially the occult people, they think that if they sleep with you while your gifts are dormant, that they're going to get some of those gifts. It doesn't work like that. They got your energy, they got maybe a bit of your favor and blessing, but they didn't get your gifts. And, please watch my show on, where I answer the question about why so many people, when they start the awakening journey, they really go celibate, or they find them that they have to be alone first. Because, so now with all the work that you've done, you are now online. And so the relationships you'll be attracting now, it's like an exchanging of gifts, beloveds. We're going back to the ancient ways of sexuality, where it was really for healing, for elevation, for exchanging gifts and different powers. That's where you're at. And you have to be spiritually led, because there are those. This is not the season to sleep with with energy vampires, with people who are not on the same vibration as you, because they will pull you down, beloved. And so I really wouldn't think of relation. It's not something that I would actively be like, who am I going to be with? Am I going to find someone? It's like, continue working on yourself, and you will meet the right person for you. That's the advice I'd give you, because you see, you meet who you are, not what you want. And I think a lot of people married what they wanted, thinking, what they thought they wanted, and they didn't really see who the person was behind the scenes. But I'm getting into the other show, so I'm not going to talk about that too much. But now you have to recognize, beloveds, and move with the maturity. Like anyone that you have sexual intercourse with, you will give them, whether it's your gifts of seeing, your gifts of clairvoyance, your gifts of healing, you will give them a part of that. Because there's a point when two become one, and it's like the barriers go down and information is exchanged. But make sure that you're getting something worthy in return. I really believe that if you're moving spiritually, and if you're moving in a higher elevated, on a higher level, then you will also have sexual encounters that are meant to activate you. There are certain people that you will connect with, soulmates, who will activate certain gifts that are dormant in you. Because if you through their own gifts of their gifts, through the transference of their gifts. So it's even more critical now, beloveds, to think about these things really from a logical perspective, and don't get all your feelings involved. He may be fine, he may be this, he may be wealthy. I think wealthy is just not even it shouldn't even be on the list, because a lot of demons are wealthy. Story for other days, because there's also a lot of angels that are wealthy. Anyway, so beloveds, I think it's so critical now that you start to look at things logically and really look at any relationship you're going into, because I really do feel that now that a lot of us have come into this new world, are on the other side, we will be merging with our divine counterparts. Now, if your marriage has survived your awakening, that is absolutely just the biggest blessing, from the Most High. Like, that is absolutely amazing. It's very hard for two people to grow at the same level. And so it's, and you should now, by celebrating that, to celebrate that, you should get to know each other again, like you're brand new people, because you really are. And you made it. Like, celebrate the fact that your relationship made it, because many relationships don't make it in the, during the awakening season. But if you're single, beloveds, it's really, really time now to go into and start to examine some of those Roman ideas, aka romantic, philosophies that were out there. There's so much wind today. Start to look into, some of, get beyond those things about, boy meets girl, Cinderella story, Prince Charming and all this stuff, like, and go deeper into your divine counterpart and be the best version of yourself so that you attract that. I really believe that a lot of people are going to be going into partnerships. And the sad thing is, beloveds, it's coming in 2022, and yet there are many who got into relationships during the lockdown, either 2020 or 2021, and they were convinced. I mean, how many times have we been convinced that that was their person? But many will find that it wasn't their person. It was like the final kind of, toxic karmic relationship that they had. It was their final, it brought out a lot of those deep residue emotions that you had not dealt with, forcing you to go into balance. So be who you want to attract is what I would say to all my single men and single ladies. Be who you want to attract. Live the lifestyle that you would want to live with that person. Don't wait for that person to come and then you're trying to figure it out. Live that lifestyle now, and don't compromise, beloveds, because now it's like with all the work that you're doing, many of us have actually been kept in isolation. Many of us have been celibate for a while as we were going through this transition. It's like you're a beaming light, you're like a beaming virgin, literally, male or female. So I think it's absolutely critical, beloveds, that you be very mindful of the kind of relationships that you're getting into, and recognize that when you first meet someone, you're literally meeting their representative, like who they want you to think they are. But with the level of spiritual awareness that you should be on now, you can tell a good person from a bad person. You can tell when someone is lying to you. And so it's very important to wait until you meet the real man, and recognize and see who is the real man. Because the representative will always look scrumptious, you know what I mean? The representative will always look so enlightened and so this and so that. But in having those conversations, beloveds, you will start to see, the quality of someone's heart. Because this awakening journey, beloveds, it's brutal. It's like boot camp. It's like another spiritual boot camp. There are no shortcuts. So you can't gloss over something, or not work through something. It will always show through. Who you are will always show itself. And so really, beloveds, if you're single and you've done all this work, you've awakened your gifts, or you're awakening your gifts, you're starting to learn who you are, make sure that, first of all, ask your spiritual team if now is really the time for you to be in a relationship. Like, I am so grateful, beloveds, that in my most intense spiritual warfare over it's happened the last 3 years. That's when they really tried to take me out, although they've been trying all their lives. But what I realized is that I'm so glad I was alone. I'm so glad. I mean, at that time, all I wanted was like someone to just be on the battlefield with me. But I recognize now I wasn't alone. I still had my spiritual team, But I'm so grateful, beloveds, that my divine counterpart was not here, because I was out of balance. And that's why I was attracting those out of balance people, situationships, toxic, enemies of myself. That's why they could even still get to me, family members, etc. They could still get to me because I hadn't reached my point of balance. And now I'm in balance. So whatever comes will fly past me or it will return right back to you because we're not of matching vibration. So it's very important, beloveds, to ask your spiritual team, am I ready? With everything I've been through, am I ready or do I still need a little time to heal? And it will always happen when you're not ready. But it's good to know, beloveds. And it's good now to really use your spiritual powers for your own life to know what kind of people you're dealing with and what kind of people are coming into your life. If you'd like me to cover anything else around this topic, please leave it in the comments below. Until next time, beloveds. Tuko pamoja.